Hi everybody, welcome to this quick 9 general wind direction playthrough for the division and dates shown on screen right now. All 9 holes, timestamps in the description down below. Please hit thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Remember to check out our channel homepage. There is daily quick 9 content available for multiple divisions. Please remember some of these replays may be from the time before Playdemic changed the attribute levels. Nice tailwind angle here, so we're going to go aggressively with a berserker at P10, max rest position there with my APOC. You don't have to have an APOC level 7, you could actually do this with an APOC 5 and maybe even APOC 4 with a push-up afterwards. So we're adding a couple of bars of backspin and 2 right spin. You would need to vary the backspin depending on your wind strength though here, because obviously with these high winds up in Master, it is going to have more of an effect on the flight of the ball. So more wind, I would play with more backspin so you don't overshoot. Max plus 10, then we are pushing up and going with about 1 1/4 ball of curl to the right. No overpower, make sure you don't accidentally overpower this shot. As with all blast shots though, you will need to tweak this according to wind angle. We are carrying the rough really nicely and rolling just before the fringe here, which is going to leave us a very easy chip, and we're going to play End Bringer School method. We've got videos on this. You can learn the entire method in around 5 minutes on the Academy tutorial playlist on the channel homepage. If you don't know what it is, then very quickly here, you stretch your target to max and look at where the pin stands. I estimate the pin to be 40% from my ball to max distance of my club, so I'm going to play this 40% on the slider, and we're going to go 20% elevation using the same power settings as the ball you're using. So using power 10 numbers, no spin, ball guide to hole. Be careful here for glitch spots on the green. Apply a little bit of spin if you need to work around it. And obviously if you don't have tailwind, you're going to lay up and play a short iron, rings from min. Here we have a very difficult par 3 with free to play, especially with the Kingmaker. So I'm going for an outside chance for hole in one using the rocket. Around 7.5 backspin here is what I'm going with. I'm having the red ring touching the rough on the right-hand side there, the lower part of the red ring. I offset this one to the right. I didn't need to do that though, so I would suggest you go with a little bit of left spin to aim at the pin in this wind angle. The adjustment I'd like you to make here is medium distance, 15% elevation. It's difficult to get a consistent landing position here, and obviously if you want to try for the hole in one, the best shot is absolutely with the paid ball and a rough bump. But if you're wanting to get safely to green, then the rocket is nice for the amount of backspin that is offered. So we're going to either adjust less or we change the spin there, but a very tough par 3. Very good chance for an albatross here due to the funnel on the green. We're going to play an NMT shot with our Apocalypse P6 ball. We're going with 5.8 top spin and 3 bars side spin to the right. Then we adjust max plus 10. If you've got APOC 4, you'll be fine for this shot, but after you adjust, you need to push up a total of 6 yards or 1.7 rings to compensate for the lack of distance. Please note this is really a tailwind drive. You're not going to make it over with the right distance if you have headwind here. Going with full overpower, it's a slower needle and plenty of right curl as shown. Minor greats, doesn't really matter here, we're still going to make it over there. And then we're rolling along the fairway very nicely. Drive distance is going to be around 425 yards. Now, second shot, I'm estimating my club distance with the Thorn. If you don't get the drive distance, you can still play a rough bump with your Grizzly. Same principle applies, really, still an excellent chance. But as I say, estimate your club distance here. General elevation is going to be minus 10%, as this one does play uphill. We're going to need top spin to make it up the hill out of the rough. And I'm going with just under 5 bars of top spin and 1 bar side spin to the right. Setting up quite high in the rough because we are going to adjust down the slope and it's going to cause us to lose distance on the shot. That is something you will need to do in tailwind. Crosswind, you're fine to aim with the top of the yellow ring touching the rough. But in headwind, obviously, you're going to adjust to a higher point on the green, so you might need a click or two of underpower or to modify your position slightly. But the rough bump is absolutely the best chance. Great save, providing you have set up your shot correctly with regarding to adjusting to a higher or lower point. And as I say, minus 10 elevation, lovely channel to the pin for your albatross. Now, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can do so. Details on the screen now. As part of your perks on certain days for the Quick Nines, there will be some Patreon exclusive Master General playthroughs for those holes used. So make sure you check us out there. No real hazards to worry about on this par 3 and a decent chance with the sniper in all wind angles. I start by adding my backspin in this wind angle. I go with 3 bars of backspin and have the ball guide through the hole, aiming with the bullseye in the middle of the rough and the fringe on that section of fairway. Then I add some left spin to compensate for the wind angle here. It does need a tweak based on the miss in the video, but it gives you something to work from. Always coming in a bit hot as well with this attempt, so I would increase the backspin slightly and maybe play 3.5 backspin and maybe 1.2 to 1.5 left spin when you have wind angle coming in from left to right. Obviously, it would be the opposite with wind going from right to left. Adjust max plus 10, and we're bouncing pretty much near to where we're aiming. Just a little bit of a tweak needed to the spin for a decent attempt on this par 3. Tricky par 5 here. I'm going to play with the Thor's Hammer and the Cataclysm. I will need a long distance wood club in all wind angles. I'd recommend you do the same as well. And the reason I'm going with the Thor's Hammer is for the top spin. In the end, I actually settle with 7 bars of top spin. Obviously, if you have high level Apocalypse, you could play with that. If you don't have either club, you could play with Extra Mile level 9, but you would need to hit perfect. So 7 top spin, a little bit of left spin there, but no need really to worry about that. Depends on your wind angle. But I'm setting up here at P6 max rest, and then I'm adjusting max plus 10. No push-up, no overpower. Just tap this ball nicely down the fairway with a perfect ball, missing the trees. All we need to do is find the short grass. I want to try and favour the left-hand side of the fairway, but here is still going to be absolutely fine. And the wind angle on the second shot obviously is going to be pretty much crosswind with a bit of headwind, because this is a dogleg design. We turn the corner, so we're going to have to think about that with our club selection, which is why I'm suggesting you go with the Cataclysm or the Big Dog. Here you can see I'm adding spin, always going to go with 3 left spin, and here playing with around 6 top spin, looking at that second bounce. I want it midway into the rough. If you have tailwind on this shot, then please don't put that second bounce too close to the rough, because the wind will push you and you might miss the rough. If you've got headwind, I would like that second bounce to be near the edge of the rough towards the green because of the second bounce wind effect. Max plus 0 in all wind angles here. I'm adjusting into overpower just to make sure I clear and roll out of the rough. I am going to add 1 ring on, so it is a bit of a nasty shot, this one, in this wind angle. Make sure you hit perfect, just clipping the rough nicely, rolling out for a putt for our eagle. Now, although you can support us financially on Patreon, you can also join as a free member. If you do that, you will get bonus master level text guide content from the Coalition. They produce text guides for free every tournament, free to play balls, and we send those out when they do so. And they very kindly agreed to let me share their archives of all the courses used in this season of Quick Nines for you all to use, because there may be some wind angles that you get as part of the Quick Nines that they have in their archive. So you will receive those if you join us as a free member on our Patreon. On this par 4, we're going to drive with the rock for the ball guide and the accuracy. With the rock level 9, I'm setting up at a max distance with half of the white ring into the rough on the right-hand side. Then I'm adding my spin, 3 top spin and 1.5 bars of side spin to the right. Once we've found those positions and added the spin, it is time to adjust, and my adjustment here is going to be max distance with 5% elevation. Max plus 5. Obviously, if you're adjusting into headwind here, you can still find position and add spin with the rock. You will need a bit more top spin, but before you adjust, I would then swap to your Apocalypse bag and use the same adjustment so that you're not adjusting or needing to use overpower. Perfect ball. And centre the ball hit perfect here, no need for any curl or overpower, and we want to just roll up the hill, taking a slight turn to the left. Drive distance around 350 yards. Second shot will need a tweak here, depending on what wind angle you get, of course. It's all about trying to find a consistent landing position, and it's not the easiest fairway to bounce on, but we're going to give it a go. Backspin and left spin, as you can see in the video there. I offset this one just to the left of the pin, and that's because the wind is going to push us to the right. That is something I would tweak depending on the wind angle that we get, of course, during the games. Here I adjust mid-distance minus 10% elevation, as this one does play slightly uphill. Mid minus 10 in this instance. Centre the ball and hit perfect. We'll need a tweak or two. You can either tweak landing position, spin, probably the spin, to be honest, because the bounce point is good. So just tweak the spin there and you've got a good chance on this par 4. Got really close with this attempt here on this par 3 in tailwind. We're going to play with the sniper. Red ring touching the rough at the top of +3. Adding spin. It's 5.5 back spin and it's 0.8 left spin. A bit hard to see. This is a very old replay before the spin bars were changed, but that's the spin that I was using here. 5.5 back and 0.8 left spin. We're adjusting here mid-distance 15% elevation in this pretty straight tailwind angle. Even if you don't have tailwind though, there's a decent chance of dropping this one. You will need plenty of backspin though. I'd reduce some in level crosswind, and obviously you would need to reduce further in headwind because that is going to check the ball up. But definitely a good bounce point here. Perfect ball away, bouncing really nicely. Just needed a click or two of curl to the left for this one to drop. On this par 4, I'm going to use the Thor's Hammer followed by the Guardian, adding my spin first with the Kingmaker, and I'm going to go here with 6.5 top spin and 3 bars side spin to the right. You can play this one with APOC 6 and above or extra mile 9 as well. I would suggest you aim a little bit to the left here by about 1 ring, because my second bounce is fairly close to the rough, so I would just shift the target slightly to the left. Adjustment is max +10, and I'm going with 0.8 ball curl to the right. And we want to swing this ball round, try and cut the corner here. You can see there the bounce is very close to the rough. So a little less curl or setting up, like I said, a ring or two to the left is going to be fine, but we want to go around 400 yards. Second shot, I'm finding min line of my club and max line. Going to estimate club distance as best I can. It's going to be around mid-distance as a general rule here, and I want to use the backspin and the slope at the back of the green to check the ball right down from the slope, bouncing back to the green and near the hole. In the video here I played mid +10, however this is over adjusted. I would recommend you play true club distance with 0 elevation instead. I'm intentionally leaving the ball guide to the right of the hole rather than aiming at the pin, because of course the wind angle is going to push us in to the left, and you would need to offset accordingly on the other side if you've got crosswind from left to right. So 0 elevation would have been better on that one. If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of 3 ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube, you can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video. 3 good shots needed to get our eagle on this par 5. We're going to drive with the rock, and we're using 4.2 top spin and a little bit of side spin to the right. Aim the ball guide into the middle of that piece of fairway there that just sticks out into the rough. We are at P6 max rest with the rock level 9, white ring touching the rough on the left hand side. We are going to adjust here maximum distance with 10% elevation, centre the ball and hit perfect. Obviously you'll need a little bit more top spin in headwind, so I would then once you've set up with the rock, switch to your APOC and just add a bit more top spin so that you're not short. But actually we've got a bit of room anyway. We could have gone with circle drop overpower, or just before circle drop overpower to get us some more distance. As things are though, we're fine. Second shot, pick either the big dog or the cataclysm, whichever offers you the most top spin, and we are going to go full top spin here. and just want to transport ourselves down the fairway so we have a clear shot with our thorn. Adjustment here is max distance, 0 elevation, and to get a few extra yards on this one, I push up to max. Obviously, if you want to push the drive harder, you don't need to do that. I'm going with circle break over power here. If you push the drive, you don't have to do that. You could actually still push up and reduce the overpower and go with no overpower. It's all about what you feel comfortable with. I would think a minor great ball either side would be fine though, providing you've got a fairly accurate wood club. You can make a pin check here if you've got this wind angle. If not, estimate the distance of your club. Here I was using pin check reference, and +5 came out at 70% on the slider. That was what was dropping for me. But if you're playing this without wanting to dial in your own tweaks, then I would play true club distance with 10% elevation. Bit of backspin and a little bit of right spin in this instance to line up the ball guide with the wind angle. You don't have to do that, but I found it worked very nicely here. Ball guide slightly short of the cup because we have tailwind, and obviously that is going to push us with more a bounce than is shown. You've got secondary wind effect, and the opposite with headwind. If you've got headwind here, have that ball guide going through the hole slightly to compensate for the wind push. Perfect ball away with our adjustment, and we drop it for the eagle on this very long par 5. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.